the fact that he has no like one way of playing, you know. So you don't know how to set up against him.
That's true.
Like at the start of the season, you saw right. Man City played this formation 2-2-4-1 or something like that.
Yep.
So it's like the inverted wing backs become wingers just to support the Foden and Mahrez.
That wasn't a red. That wasn't a yellow. It is football Kaki time. Welcome to the football Kaki. I am your host Eldat, and I am joined by Jordan, my fellow Kaki bro, and of course the long lost brother who was in Cambodia for the past 1 month, Mr. Paul E. Bro, you're back, ah. So for those of you that don't know, right, he was involved in the SEA Games for the past month, right, and your role was like in terms of like managing the Team Singapore, right?
Yeah, I was in the Team Singapore contingent doing results and like athlete welfare.
Well, so you're the one taking care of the athletes, lah.
More of like booking their flights when they, like, say example when they start the competition, right?
Yeah.
We sort of like anticipate when they will go home, so we will start booking flights back, and also as we book flights out, right, there are athletes who are incoming. Because their tournament haven't started yet. All the Singapore athletes are not all there like at the same time.
Oh.
So I say like maybe example, hockey they start first, right? They start like 5 days. Then maybe swimming will come after the 6th day or something like that.
Okay. So means that if let's say for example like the team gets like some time off or they have to go for media events, everything, you are the one that takes care of it, is it?
No. Media is media. So it's more of I'm doing results. So whatever results that come in from the day, I will have to report to like the higher ups, like the chief, the CEO, even minister, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I got this very important question, right? It's football related. Since you already booked the flight, you were the one booking the flight, right? What was the reaction when you had to report that Singapore lost 7-0? And then when do you have to book the flight for the Singapore football national team?
Just so happened, because I work in a team. I'm not the only one doing the results.
Yeah.
Just so happened when it was 7-0, I was eating in the dining hall. So my colleague is the one reporting. So what my colleague did, he reported the final score in the chat, right? So in this chat, bear in mind, in this chat, there's all the ministers, all the high up.
Imagine they ask,
so the moment they
sure?
send the moment my colleague send the message, right, then everybody react with the thinking face. Because only admins can send message, right?
Yeah.
So we are the admins, but nobody. That means the rest, whoever is in the chat, cannot send a message, but they can only react. So a lot of them just react the thinking face.
Wow, bro.
But yeah, it was bad.
I mean, like, I got nothing much to say. I already say my piece already. Like, when you cannot trash 7-0, right, by your cross country rival, I got nothing to say already.
We all of us act like it's something surprising. The state of Singapore football, I think, is very.
No,
I shall not touch much, but then Singaporeans shouldn't be so surprised, I feel.
No, bro. My whole thing is that I'm not saying like surprised that they were gonna lose to Malaysia, right? I'm more surprised at the fact that it's like 7-0. You know pride, eh?
Exactly. It's like
that's my whole thing.
When it's like 4-0 or 3-0, you all should change your tactics and stop the attack already. Like, you should just focus on damage limitation.
Yeah, bro. And the worst part was that at halftime it was 2-0. So second half they conceded 5.
Oof.
The damage limitation is not there anymore already. That's just like
just damage.
That's just damage already, lah. Okay, so glad to have Paul back. Today's episode is going to be interesting because over the weekend it is official. Manchester City have won the Premier League for the 2022 to 2023 season. Our fellow Arsenal fan here, Jordan, my sympathies to you. I mean, wow, it's hard to watch. How do you feel?
Oh, I was quite pissed off with the match. To be honest. First of all, the tactics, like why you put Partey on the right wing back?
Huh?
Yeah, Partey was a right wing back.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
he
it's
started
3-4-3.
Partey as right wing. Oh, right,
Yeah.
3-4-3.
It's 3-4-3. Then playing Kyo at the left centre back, and then Chaka was at left wing back.
Huh?
3-4-3. 3-4-3. Oh, it means the two.
Yeah, it's a 3-4-3.
Extra,
then got Jorginho, Partey. Oh, they
try
got
to be
all
like
this.
Pep. I think
I know.
they really try to be
Like,
like
what kind of formation is this? And very passive playing
Bro,
style.
it's not about being like Pep or anything like that. It's the fact that he already has two players at the thing that doesn't really make much sense really. Because technically on paper, right, it is 4-3-3. But the thing
it's
is
4-3-3, but then you got Shaka, then you got Partey, you got Jorginho.
And it's like, if you want to try something, why now?
Why now?
Try now?
Of all things, you want to try why now also lah. Then wow.
I mean, Tierney is a much more
Effective left back, right?
Yeah. Then he came in also not effective really, because you can feel that the whole Nottingham Forest already take opportunity and know how to dismantleize Arsenal.
Yeah, it's sad, bro. Like my whole thing, right, is that Arsenal going into the game, right, you already know for a fact that, okay, one, you have to win. Two is that you are playing against Nottingham Forest, who are gonna fight their hardest for relegation survival. To relegate survival. So it's like basically for Nottingham, right, it's like fight or flight already. Like I got to win already. Like no matter what they do. So the fact that they pull it off, kudos to Nottingham, but when you play Thomas Partey at right back, it's not going to do any good for you.
You got see the Nottingham Forest owner was at the stand. Then
he's barely so
pray.
big.
And after he kissed, you know what, like a small book or something. He like
some superstitious.
Funny.
No, bro, I think right at this point, right, it's like they are just happy to just stay up already, because when they won the game, they assured themselves survival already, man. So it's like that. As you can see, Paul representing the Nottingham Forest.
I wear it because it was. I remember I bought it. Then it's fitting for the occasion.
Yeah,
see,
but
like,
I mean,
they don't have sponsor one.
As in,
but now they have lah.
The center shirt, the shirt sponsor lah, the main shirt sponsor lah. But I mean, it was a fun title race while it lasted lah. But I won't get into that too much for the rest of the episode. It's going to be about Man City and Pep Guardiola. So today's episode, we're going to just talk about today Manchester City, what they actually have to do to actually win their treble. So currently they already have one more game to close out the season. And after that is, of course, the FA Cup final against Manchester United. Then, of course, the Champions League final against Inter Milan. I think for Man United, right, that one is a bit more high stakes, because for Man United, if the players got any pride at all, it is making sure that not only do they win the domestic cup, but they actually protect their status as the only English club to win a treble, which is 1999 Manchester United. For the Champions League final, I do think that it's going to be a bit more interesting, because for Inter, it is about their first time having a shot at the Champions League since Jose Mourinho. And I do think that this Inter squad, defensively, they are very, very good. So, Paul, since you've been away for our Champions League stuff, right, what's your thoughts on the Champions League final? Inter, do City have a good chance?
Gonna Usain Bolt, bro. Easy. I think Man City is gonna win this easily, bro.
Treble, yeah.
You think so?
But I won't think it's a trashing lah. But I think they will win comfortably.
Because I also want to get input after I say it, but I also think that because generally, like comparatively to Real Madrid, I think Inter's defense is better to me. But I'm not sure whether that is the case for both of you lah. So George, what do you think? Is Inter's defense better than Real Madrid?
Because it's like a Italian club. Italian club meant to be more defensive, the way they play out. Yeah. Then it's surely much better than Real Madrid if they are compared in just purely in their defensive. But attacking wise, it's not as wholesome balance compared to Man City.
Oh, you mean that like basically like everybody can get a
they
goal
can survive even with their second string, like no Haaland, they got Alvarez.
Yeah.
No Mahrez, they got what? Foden. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. But I think Inter, right, they are also similar, but they're also a bit more, how to say, like they don't really have that like natural star power or that firepower that Man City have also. Like you can say, okay, they can get goals from Dzeko, Mkhitaryan, Barella, Calhanoglu, Lautaro lah. But at the end of the day, right, I don't think you can compare Inter's attack to Man City's attack. It's just not the same. Like it's just very hard. But I think defense-wise, maybe you can give a bit of a 50-50 in terms of like City's defense versus like comparatively Inter's defense lah. So we shall see. I think when the Champions League final is up and coming, we'll probably just do a Champions League final preview based on that lah. But going to the FA Cup, Man United, their form's not great lah. I'll say this. My two wingers, 21 and 25, Anthony and Central, they're not doing very well. The weekend, I find that they've not been great at their decision making. So, as much as I want to say that Man United has a chance against Man City, at the current form that they're in, I'm also a bit skeptical. Paul, what do you think as a fellow United fan?
We just need as many players to be fit as we can. So the only ones that is confirmed out is Lisandro, I feel, right? So maybe Rashford can come back for the final.
Maybe.
Casemiro, Eriksen out, the rest will be okay. I just feel that, like what you say, if we play the current wingers, we will die. We will die, bro.
Oh, it'll be a disaster.
Rashford has to play, I feel.
Yes.
For us to even have any chance.
Rashford's injured. Rashford.
But I think he's like a knock only. So
no, I think he had a partial injury. Plus, also I know that he missed the match on the weekend mainly due to illness.
Yeah, so it's okay lah. So maybe hopefully we'll get back soon. But it's tough, bro. The form City is in now.
It's challenging lah.
I want to say okay, maybe you can force them into extra time. But either way, our penalty record is not good. So
yeah.
If we go to penalty shot, I will sub Butler in.
Just to
I will totally take the game out. Yeah, just to roll the dice, right? I will sub Butler in. And if he win the penalty shootout, he can stay.
Yeah. George, your opinion on the cup final?
Opinion. I mean, there's still a chances for Man United to sneak something out of it. But Man City is really good at reacting. Even when you were to sneak something up the sleeve, yeah.
It's going to be challenging lah.
It's challenging for Man United to take the trophy unless I don't know what De Bruyne injured on the Brighton game. Then after that, Haaland injured.
There's
at the
no way they are
game.
playing De Bruyne against Brighton anymore. They'll rest players until maybe they play the. Okay, maybe last game they'll play a bit because you can't sit out completely one whole week, right?
Yeah,
we play 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yeah. I believe the last few games they're gonna play the same few that they play against Chelsea lah.
Probably similar lah.
Yeah, then probably each player will get about 20 to 30 minutes game time lah.
Yeah, but the thing is that Man City's second team can whack any other EPL team also.
Yeah.
So it's like okay. We just hope for the best lah. We'll do a FA Cup preview. I think next week lah because the cup finals on the 3rd of June. In the meantime, to this episode, we're going to talk about the managers themselves and of course the manager in question on whether or not he is the greatest of all time. Right? Is our Man City manager Pep Guardiola. He has won accolades in 3 different countries in Spain, Germany, and England. And of course, he has won league titles in all 3 of them. He's won basically 3 in a row in every single country he's managed in. So he's won 3 in a row with City. He's won 3 in a row with Barcelona. He's won 3 in a row with Bayern. He's got a total of 28 accolades, including 11 league titles, 9 domestic cups, 2 Champions Leagues, and of course, 6 Super Cups, which include 3 UEFA Super Cups and 3 Club World Cups. So for us today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Pep, his managerial style, the influence he's had over football, right? And then for some fun, we're going to put him up against 3 different managers to see whether or not, right, do the other managers pip him? Or is Pep really outright the greatest of all time? So with that, let's get into today's episode of the Football Kaki. Alright, so for today's episode, the manager in question is, of course, Pep Guardiola. To just briefly give the amount of summary for his accolades, he has won 5 EPL trophies, 3 La Ligas, 3 Bundesligas, 1 FA Cup, 2 Spanish Cups, 2 German Cups, 4 EFL Cups, 2 Champions League with Barcelona, 3 UEFA Super Cups, and 3 Club World Cups. So boys, based on his just statistics alone, he already puts himself in the conversation for greatest manager ever lah. What, in your opinion, right, sets Pep Guardiola apart from the rest? So I'm just going to go with Jots. What do you think is Pep's main thing? Or what makes Pep different from everybody else?
I think his adaptability. Because many people foresee him can't do well in Premier League. Because it's totally different style. There's a lot of direct football. I remember he recently been questioned, like an interview with Thierry Henry, which is also his former player in Barcelona. he was being questioned like how tough it is to make the key changes in Man City. Like he mentioned that what he applied in Bayern and in Barcelona can be of the same, but no, here play a lot more direct football, a lot of second ball duels and all this duel after duels. So he have to change his training into prepare for the second ball, third ball, fourth ball, fifth ball. Yeah. That's one that I remember that he's quick to adapt to new changes lah.
Yep. I think it's one of the common threads where like I think other players who have played here, specifically like Casemiro, he recently said that compared to Spanish football where it's a lot more passing play, a lot more tiki-taka, here is a lot more transitional. So meaning that they can transform defense into attack very, very, very quickly. Then they can just like, some of them can just like, okay, I avoid all other tactics, right? I'm just going to bombard the long ball forward. Then you have to try to win the ball in the air. So Paul, right, my same question to you, what sets Pep apart from the rest?
The fact that he has no like one way of playing, you know? So you don't know how to set up against him.
That's true.
Like at the start of the season, you saw right, Man City played this formation 2-4-1 or something like that.
Yep.
So it's like the inverted wing backs become wingers just to support the Foden and Mahrez.
Yep.
So there's like two wingers and two wing backs to help them. Like in the formation just to feed Haaland. So when I saw that, it's like, bro. And Cancelo was playing CDM.
Yeah.
So I was so shocked, right, that he can even dare to try to play this out of formation. And he has so much faith in like John Stones and Nathan Ake just to be the sweeper. Usually you have two defender and two wing back to support your four, right?
Yeah.
But it's just the confidence. You just see the way it transits down to the players. The way they play. They're just so confident in winning the ball back.
Yeah.
Like even if they lose the ball for like 2 seconds, right? Don't worry. Like don't panic. We'll get it back.
Yep.
And the moment they get the ball, the opposition just straight away just fall back.
Yeah.
And then you just give like Man City more than half the fuel, you know. So to me, the way he innovates football in the EPL, right, is just.
I think there's
especially this season.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's a saying like what, your principle remains the same, but your tactics can move about.
Yep.
Yeah, his principle is possession football, right?
Yeah.
Possession, tiki-taka, lose the ball, win it back fast. You know, I remember at the time when I was in Barca, he said if you lose the ball, you have like 3 seconds to get it back.
Yeah.
If not, the closest person must take it for you lah. But then you are in that guy's debt. Yeah. So it's like everybody is like constantly, okay, if I lose the ball, I better get it back myself. You know, it's like my obligation.
I think that like even for what we've also discussed also in past episodes, right? Like he's confident enough that he can actually just play three defenders at the back. Then he can put John Stones in midfield with Rodri. Who on earth would have thought that John Stones would be a CDM or like a capable enough player to play at CDM? It's not something that most of us would have thought of also. Like to me, I think John Stones is a good centre back.
Yeah, but this year he really innovates. He's even innovate his own position quite well. No? Like centre back to CDM.
Yeah, plus also
he like score goals also.
Yeah, plus also it's also helpful that Man City have probably the best squad depth in the entire EPL. Like without a shot.
I think in the world, bro. In the world now, not even in the EPL, in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, but also it's also interesting because like if I'm not wrong, right, when he was at Barcelona and Bayern, right, he predominantly stuck to mainly one formation. I think it was mainly 4-3-3. I know Barcelona was 100% 4-3-3 majority of the time. And similar, I think maybe at Bayern may have been 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I can't really recall, but I know for a fact that at Barcelona, right, with Iniesta, Busquets, Xavi, Messi, Villa, and that squad, right, a lot of it was 4-3-3 if I remember correctly. Yeah. So for him to evolve from 4-3-3 to a point where now at Man City, he can just literally play whatever formation he wants, and the concept and the flow of football is literally identical, but at Man City it's just faster.
Actually, this inverted wingback thing, right? I think if I'm not wrong, is when Arteta was in Man City, he was the one that had this idea of doing it. Yeah.
Was it him?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I remember he was during the Prime Amazon. He was being asked to do a full report on how to play against Arsenal when the next match is against Arsenal.
Yep.
Yeah, So he came
But
out
also
with
because at Man City he got players who can play versatile positions. Like Cancelo can play literally any position. Where at Barcelona, you got Abidal, Danny Alves can play right wing, right wing back. But you cannot play CDM or you cannot play on the left back.
Yeah,
but
must say also, sometimes you also must give a bit of credit to the assistant manager who really tweak something here and there.
Yeah, because you one person control all. There may be things like loopholes you will miss out.
Correct,
for sure. Like or if like everyone is like a yes man to you, right? Then nobody's challenging your ideas.
Yeah. I think that like his concept of football, right, is very Barcelona style because he was a player at Barcelona. Then the style of football is the one that is a product of La Masia lah. So people always say that he is a knock on him that he's always gone to a club with great resources lah. But I also feel that it's also very hard to say because when he started out at Barcelona, right, it was basically all his boys from La Masia. And it's like a Barcelona trained style football team that was there. So it's like those are things that you can't really say. Maybe Bayern Munich is a bit more obvious because Bayern Munich is like kings of German football lah. For him to come over to the EPL where everybody knocked him, and then his first season he didn't do very well lah. From there to win 5 Premier League titles in 6 years is quite a feat. It's not easy to do. So I mean, we salute him, but to make things fun, what we're gonna do is that enough about Pep Guardiola for the time being on just Pep alone lah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna compare him to managers and we're gonna do a step ladder thing. So meaning what we're gonna do today, boys, is we're gonna go into 3 different matches. So we're gonna have Pep versus one manager. The winner of that game will go on to the next manager. Then the winner of that one will go to the final of the last game. So we've got a total of 3 managers coming up, which we'll discuss. But we'll only do a one-on-one matchup to see who advances to become essentially what here at the Football Kaki deem as the greatest manager ever. So just to take note, we are only counting league titles, domestic cup, Champions League, continental trophies such as Europa League, UEFA Cup, right? And of course Super Cups. So meaning Super Cups, the category will be like Club World Cup and UEFA Super Cup lah. I am not counting those type of like Community Shield or like the Spanish Super Cup, those type of things, because I find those are not really like the accolades that you would deem as the serious accolades that most managers or clubs are remembered for lah. So just to recap, currently we've got Pep Guardiola with 11 league titles, 5 EPL, 3 La Liga, 3 Bundesliga. He's got 9 domestic cups with 1 FA Cup, 2 Spanish Cup, 2 German Cup, 4 EFL. He's got 2 Champions League with Barcelona. He's got 3 UEFA Super Cups and 3 Club World Cups. So the first matchup is what many consider his arch rival. The guy that knocked him off with a tactical masterclass while he was managing Inter Milan, Mr. Jose Mourinho. So the first round is Jose Mourinho versus Pep Guardiola to decide who goes on and has a shot at being Football Kaki's greatest manager ever lah. So for Mourinho, what we're going to do is that we're going to look at his accolades. So he's got a total of 8 league titles, which is 3 EPL, 1 La Liga, 2 Serie A, 2 Portuguese. He's got 8 domestic cups, which is 1 Portuguese Cup, 1 FA Cup, 1 Italian Cup, 1 Spanish Cup, and 4 EFL Cups. He's got 2 Champions Leagues, 1 with Inter and 1 with Porto. And he has got 2 continental trophies, 3 continental trophies, 2 Europa Leagues, bracket UEFA Cup, and 1 Conference League. He has not won a Club World Cup or UEFA Super Cup, right? Because every time he's won the Champions League, right, he's moved on to another club. Yeah. Or when he's won UEFA Cup, right, the other club is just better lah. So, boys, opinions. Mourinho versus Pep. Who is better?
Hard to argue. It's just Pep. Pep is like instant final already. But to talk about Mourinho and Guardiola in a different way, right, is that Mourinho has a reputation of like going to smaller clubs. Yes. In a way lah. Or like starting from the bottom,
Yep.
Like you see now he's at Roma.
Yeah.
And they are in the Europa final.
Yep.
Right. So I'm not sure whether they secured like Champions League already, but see,
but you win the Europa League final.
Yeah, can Pep do it at Roma? That's the thing,
I mean, there's a shout against him lah. But okay. Side note, before we carry on, I just want to say that we are removing money from the equation. So meaning that take away the resources, take away every other thing. We're just talking about managerial capacity and capability. So I would think that my shout is, I think like what Paul said, bringing back to his point is that Mourinho did it at Porto. He's done it at Roma. Mourinho won a Champions League with Porto, which actually is a very big feat. A big feat. He was the one that masterminded the the tactical masterclass right against Barcelona to get Inter to a Champions League. The year they won, the year they beat Bayern in the final. So, George, Mourinho or Pep, in your opinion, or what do you think Because to me, I will keep my opinions for later
Yeah, I mean Jose, like what Paul said, it worked well with Middle East club and then bring them to a higher level.
Yep.
Chelsea used to not to be top four before he come into the picture.
Yeah.
Then ever since Chelsea the top of the Premier League for a few seasons, and even when he make the second entrance back to Chelsea again, can say that he's a tactical genius. He sometimes play like if you cannot win softly, win badly. Like the type of thing that he always asks the Spurs player: if you cannot win, just win badly.
Yeah.
Do all sorts of things to get you to win. Yeah. So that's one way that you when that how you can win ugly for the club that he hold. So aside from winning ugly, the well-known match that he won over Pep, that one I would say that it's not winning ugly, it's winning out geniusly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just outplay the tactic. Seriously,
He outplayed the referee also. He had to play Barcelona and the referee.
Yeah. I think for my opinion, right, Mourinho's tactical capability, right, is very different to Guardiola's. I think Guardiola is more forward thinking. He's a bit more maybe attacking minded, progressive football, bring out the ball. I think Mourinho's more defensive minded. But the thing is that to be able to do the things that Mourinho does, is all in the little details. I'm not sure whether you saw this clip on Instagram and YouTube, right? Where you know John Terry. There was one video of John Terry explaining that there was one time during a halftime talk, whichever, right? He told John Terry and Gary Cahill, he told both of them. He said that if the moment the ball goes out, both of you go down at the same time. Then they were saying but wouldn't they have to stop play? Then both of us will have to leave the field. Then we'll be down to 9 men. And say no. If you have one guy down, yes, the guy has to leave the field. But if you have 2 men down, right, both of you can stay on the field. So he said that after a corner kick, they did a clearance or something, right? Then Gary Cahill went down. Then John Terry said, immediately I go down. Then after that, the referee told both of them. Then the referee told both of them, he said, both of you have to get off the field. Then I think John Terry said, no, if you look at the rules, right, both of us have to stay on the field. Then they check, yeah, you're right. So both of them actually stay on the field and waste time. So they just take the injury down. And the thing is that if you're ahead, right, and you're wasting time in the late moments of the game, right, he actually is very smart. Just to go and get a thing. But there's a knock on Mourinho for playing dirty. I think everybody can remember the intentional red card that Xabi Alonso and Ramos going to take just to make sure that they're ready for the knockout phases of football.
So they clear all their bookings before the knockout stages.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that, right, that people say, wow, it's not. But the thing is that nobody thinks of that type of stuff. His brain is on a different level to most managers. But
it's all these things that give him a competitive edge.
Yes.
He believes that all this, if I do all this right, then I will be at a better advantage than the opponent.
Correct. So it's very different in the sense where Mourinho he's tactically capable enough to be able to do stuff. But then again, right, Mourinho's mouth also gets him into trouble. So that's why he's probably not as well liked as Guardiola in terms of the media. But in terms of total trophies, right, he does have 10 less than Guardiola. So, boys, let's call to a vote. Mourinho,
Guardiola, bro.
Guardiola.
Yeah.
This shouldn't even be a debate.
Yeah.
Guardiola,
man. But I would want to give credits to Jose Mourinho. Like even like recently, he has changed a lot, especially after he left Spurs and left the recent one in the English Premier League is Man U, right?
Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah. After that, he become more toned down, and then you can see he become more like a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
And like gelling well with the Roma players.
I think at Roma he's finally enjoying football again.
Yeah. You can see that he putting on a smile, eating pizza.
But there's talks of him going to PSG. Yeah. Yeah. I saw that one.
Yeah, but I mean,
funny, bro. That time he got sent off. He got sent off for a game, right? No, it's not that. He watched the game in his car outside the stadium.
No, but I think you can tell that he's finally enjoying football game, which is a good thing for Mourinho, because now they've won the Conference League last year at Roma. They're probably win a shot to win against the Real Madrid of the Europa League, Sevilla, and then they are going to probably go into the Champions League. Hopefully, they might be able to pull off a miracle in the future, but we shall see. So, I think first round we all call it both of you already voted Guardiola. I'm going with Guardiola for this round. All right, so Guardiola advances to the next round. So the next manager up that will take on Mr. Pep Guardiola is, of course, Mr. Carlo Ancelotti, the current manager of Real Madrid. And his total accolades are, he's won 5 total league titles in 5 different countries, which are the EPL, La Liga, League One, Serie A, and Bundesliga. He's won 4 domestic cups, 2 Spanish cups, 1 Italian cup, and 1 FA Cup. He's won 4 Champions Leagues, 2 with Real Madrid, 2 with AC Milan. He has not won any Europa League or Conference League trophies, and he has won a total of 7 Star Super Cups, which is basically 3 Club World Cups and 4 UEFA Super Cups, bringing his total trophy haul in his career to 20. So, boys, Guardiola versus Carlo Ancelotti. What do we think of Real Madrid's current manager?
He's like the Super UEFA, like winning more UEFA Champions League than the leagues. Cup.
I think he's
leagues.
about the same Slightly off. Generally, he's quite consistent So it's 4 Champions Leagues, 5 league titles, but he never won more than 1 league title in the country.
But I find his stint staying in the club quite short.
Yeah, generally it's quite short. He don't stay there. He don't stay there.
Like he can never stay for more than 3 seasons.
But is he like the manager that won the most Champions League? Yes, right?
Well, that one I'm not sure, bro.
I think he's won 4. It's either him or Zidane.
Zidane only won 3 only.
Yeah, I think there's no other manager that won 4 in a row. I mean, not in a row, but 4 in total. 4 Champions League is quite sick.
Yeah, it's quite sick. Considering the fact that Guardiola only won 2. Winning 4 is quite a feat already.
2, 3 coming.
So Guardiola hasn't won Champions League since Barcelona.
Yes. He's not won at Bayern.
Bayern nothing.
Yeah, he didn't. That was the guy before. The guy that won a treble before Pep won, right? Before Pep came in.
I think it was Heinz.
Heinz, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Heinz. So the thing is that for Guardiola, right, his one of the Club World Cups was when he won it with Bayern, but it was the season after they won the Champions League. So he took over Bayern after they won the Champions League. Since then, he has not won since his last Champions League with Barcelona, right? He has not won a Champions League.
I mean, he went to the Champions League final,
Yeah, then he lost to Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah.
So, I think for Ancelotti, he's more known for the AC Milan teams and the Real Madrid teams. He's managed in England before, but I think he's more known for being the manager of AC Milan. The
Chelsea, right, was the club.
Chelsea he managed Chelsea also. But I think he's more known for the AC Milan teams. The one with Kaka.
And Everton.
Seedorf. Oh yeah. But that one, after go James Rodriguez, right? Then after that, he went back to Real Madrid lah. So the AC Milan team, that one got Maldini, Kaka, Seedorf, those squads lah. The one that in our previous episode we called the greatest team that never won anything. With him as a manager, I think that one is a bit more shocking lah. But I think really in terms of, let's say you compare it to Pep Guardiola, right? I think most of us will say that even though yes, Ancelotti's won more trophies than Mourinho, right? it's hard to say that he's actually better than both Mourinho and Pep, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think he can challenge Mourinho in a way lah, because he's the only manager to win the league in every country. Like the big countries lah, right? So that's already a feat that none of the other managers can touch. And to top that out, he has won 4 Champions League. So the most among the ones we've compared so far.
Yeah. I mean, we can say that. George, what do you think? Is he better than Mourinho?
I don't really focus a lot on him. But then,
he still gets a job.
yeah, but yes. For me, I think looking at his league compared to the league titles won compared to Jose Mourinho, I would still prefer a manager that with more league titles that being won, because that is normally a basic
necessity.
Yeah, that normally a club manager will like a club will sign a manager like, can you get at least the league titles?
Yeah.
Then after league titles will be what is the next objective? Yeah, which is maybe the cups or even the Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Like also in general, most of the time when you're a top club and you're hiring your manager to come in, right? Your first on your list generally, right, is always to win a league title.
Plus the payout is more, right, for winning league titles than Champions League finals.
I think I'm not sure about that, right? But to me,
sure about
depends on each individual the country payout. So meaning English Premier League got this kind of payout, French League got a different payout.
I'm not sure, but I know that, let's say for example, like, correct me if I'm wrong, right, guys, you do get a bonus as champion for either Champions League or the Premier League. But if you win both, right, you still get a bonus for both lah. So the more trophies you accumulate, right, the more money you get.
I think it's just a agreement between the manager and the club. So every manager is different, has a different contract with their clubs, ma.
No, but we're talking about like payout for the club from
the competition. That I'm not sure. Because they usually don't disclose. They will just say like how much they pay the club in prize money, but not how much they pay the manager, you know.
No, as in prize money.
Prize money
we're talking prize money.
To the club.
We're not talking manager.
I think that should technically league should be more, because there's more games, so the TV coverage is more. Yeah, so that's I don't know, but I know the highest payout is the championship game, right? Championship playoff game is the highest payout.
How much is the payout?
60.
Bro, I think it's a lot of money. Yeah.
I think it's 60.
I think if I'm not wrong, it's the highest. It's the highest. Like, it's more than the Champions League final.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so, bro.
Yeah. I think so.
I've heard this a lot of times. Really.
Well, then like that, isn't it more worth it to win like the championship playoff?
Yeah, but you must prefer how to even get there in the first place.
Yeah, the guarantee is like
because it's so hard to get there.
No, you target to finish third.
But how sure you are you will win the
yeah.
That's like, how sure you will win the championship playoff?
But I mean that one we keep it for another time, right? Because interestingly, right, the final for championship side note, right, is Luton Town versus Coventry City, right?
Okay, bro, I saw it. The winner of the playoff final will receive 178 million over 3 seasons.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
Imagine if Luton Town win.
Luton Town, but Luton Town need to redevelop their away stand.
Can buy Mbappe.
Luton Town buy Mbappe.
Buy only, not inclusive of the wages.
Okay, wait, travel. But that's a lot of money. But I think if Luton Town get promoted, right, they need to do something about the away stand. For those of you that don't know, right, just go and search Luton Town Oak Stand. Then you guys will know exactly what we are talking about. The only away stand that has to go through the housing area just to get into the stadium. So you just go and search a video on YouTube, you will confirm find one. Back to this, Ancelotti versus Guardiola. I think despite all the accolades, you can't put Ancelotti above Guardiola in my opinion. So boys, are we calling it? Is it still Guardiola over Ancelotti?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
100%. Okay. Yeah. Yes, so Pep Guardiola moves forward. I think that one is, we don't really have much to say for the first two. I think the more debatable one is the one that's coming up next. It is, of course, the legend, Sir Alex Ferguson, manager of Manchester United and Aberdeen. He has won a total of 16 league titles, 13 EPL titles, 3 Scottish League. He has won a total of 14 domestic cups, 5 FA Cups, 4 EFL Cups, 4 Scottish Cup, 1 Scottish League Cup. He has won 2 Champions Leagues, 2 with Man United. He has won 2 Continental Trophies, which is the All European Cup Winners' Cup with Man United and Aberdeen. And of course, he has won 3 Super Cups, which is 1 Club World Cup, of course, with the 07-08 Manchester United, and of course, 2 Super Cups with Man United and Aberdeen, which was, if I'm not wrong, last time when it was still a competition. So, Sir Alex Ferguson has a total of 35 trophies won in total throughout his managerial career. This one is the one that everybody is debating of, and I think this is the one that all of us want to talk about. Is Pep Guardiola better than Sir Alex Ferguson?
In terms
How
of
old did Alex Ferguson retired when the last trophy?
yeah. This is the thing. Jordan brought a very good point. I want to see like if you're comparing Ferguson and Guardiola, I think if Guardiola stays as long as how long like Sir Alex Ferguson stay, right, then he's definitely on the trajectory to beat the record.
Confirm lah. I mean
Confirm,
that one is confirmed because he's already seven trophies short. Bro, if
and he's only like what 51 or 52 years old, and Ferguson retired when he was what 70?
70.
Is 70 or 68? 65 or 70?
10 years ago. So maybe 10 years ago. He retired when he was 70.
I gave him 7 years. I think 7 years easily can reach.
Bro, Guardiola got 18 more years.
I mean, let's not go into
let's not
so
think that far.
fast.
Yeah, let's not think that far.
Yeah.
But as in the current stage now, he already matched the Ferguson's Champions League record.
He matched Ferguson's Champions League record, yes. Cup record haven't matched yet. League record haven't matched yet.
Yeah, league record different because Ferguson older ma.
Yeah.
lah.
But actually,
No, I know.
But okay,
league
if you're
record,
comparing them at this stage now, then it's hard. It's very hard to. There's literally nobody that can topple Sir Alex Ferguson, bro.
Yes.
There is
Actually,
literally
the league
nobody.
record-
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the league record during Pep spell at the La Liga, right? Must consider. I would think that he had more fiercest rival to. I mean, to win the league title when Jose was there, or even.
But there was only one. There was only one competitor.
Yeah, there's only one. Like same goes for Sir Alex. When before Arsene Wenger came in to destroy, steal a few bits of the title, is mostly
Blackburn.
Sir Alex Ferguson. Yeah, it's only later then he came in, maybe to take like
It's
3
like
or 4
slightly-
titles away.
It's agree because the thing is that you can't use like Paul, like my opinion also, and I agree with Jordan, right? It's very hard to use the one opposing club, which is basically Real Madrid, right? Under the Guardiola thing, because as a United fan, right, I must admit, most of the time when Fergie won the titles, right, from the early 90s, right, all the way until maybe you're looking at maybe the 2003,
When
it was
Chelsea,
it was generally only one competitor that year. It was either Blackburn, Newcastle, Blackburn, Newcastle, then Arsenal. So most of it was generally about one competitor. It was only until maybe like the Mourinho time 04.
06, 07, yeah. 05.
06, 07, right?
come in to take over the clubs.
Yeah, then it was okay. It was a 3-horse race. So it was a 3-horse race with Chelsea
Liverpool,
and Arsenal.
yeah.
Then after that, later on, Benitez came in, right? Then Liverpool roped in. So it was it was the big four, the 4-horse race. Race. So it's more towards like the later part. But I think that what my opinion and what I think is different about Fergie versus Guardiola is because Guardiola he's always used the squad until peak, then he's moved on. Used the squad until peak, then he's moved on. You get what I mean, right? It was only Man City that he has done some form of rebuild for some of the players, and it's currently happening now. Like you can see, like gone is David Silva, gone is Fernandinho, gone is Vincent Kompany, right? Then now it's like Ruben Dias, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Erling Haaland. But for Fergie, right, it was that first few titles rebuilt, become the kids. Then after that, 02-03 rebuilt again for another 3 years. Then it was the Ronaldo Rooney era, rebuilt again. Then it was the next one. So he rebuilds the squad because he had to adapt. He had to adapt to Mourinho when he first came in. Then he had to adapt to the later portion once the football world started to evolve, then all his players started to get older lah. Then of course he had to fight the Man City conglomerate that was money lah. So that's what I think maybe Fergie has above it. That's my opinion about what do the both of you think? George, as a Arsenal fan,
Maybe Paul,
what is
you
your
go first.
opinions?
I want to listen to Paul's.
Yeah, okay, but if I'm comparing them based on like you say, don't talk about resources and don't talk about anything else, right? In terms of style of play and in terms of like innovation of play, right? Then Guardiola is miles ahead of.
Yeah, that one I agree.
Because even the head-to-head record, he trashes Ferguson, ma.
No, and he won, and his 2 Champions League final he beat Fergie.
Yeah, he beat Ferguson. So maybe for Ferguson, it's like he's better in a way. He's better in leagues than like in like knockout competitions, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when it comes to head-to-head, then he would like maybe he don't really have the edge over like Guardiola, but to be top of the league 13 times is like quite insane lah for Ferguson, and not counting like a few of them, maybe we could have been more lah. I think that the number should be more than higher than 13, to be honest.
It should have lah.
Yeah. But Pep is definitely on the way to beat that record lah, I feel. But I don't think he'll win 13 EPL with Man City lah. I don't think that's the.
You think he's gonna move on?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. It's like because Guardiola got say also, it's very tiring to like constantly be at the top, right? And like you say, he uses the maximum until like the past few clubs like at Bayern and Barca, he uses them until the maximum then he leaves, right?
Yes.
But yeah, at City here he has the resources to shake things up, to innovate the team more. But how long can he do it? Like De Bruyne is not gonna play for another 10 years.
No, he's not.
There's not gonna be like another okay, maybe Haaland, yes, maybe still young, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like his key players are like De Bruyne and Silva, right?
Yeah.
He always needs like now you see Gundogan also gonna leave. So
yeah.
Hopefully, I don't know if he can beat the record, but okay, we're not talking about beating the record. I think that at this stage, it's tough lah. It's tough to oppose Alex Ferguson. I would still say like he's still second best, maybe.
Okay. George, what do you think?
I think.
For Pep wise, right? Okay, I'm not gonna talk about Pep. We've been talking much about. Okay. For Sir Alex Ferguson, right? He's the type of manager that he has. He stick to one type of playing style.
Yeah.
And he will tweak a bit here and there. Like he will look at the clock. He will normally make changes at the very crucial juncture in time. Yeah. He's good at getting the players that he wanted, that he need for the squad. Because that era of time, you have the control in your hand who you want to be in your clubs. Yeah. So he got the upper hand to really play out a certain system and formation what he wants. Therefore, I think this gave him the edge and to be consistent in the league lah. But when it comes to because it's a really traditional British way of playing style. When it comes to the European, he struggled a bit at some points, especially the game against Barcelona.
That one kena outclass, bro.
Yeah,
kena outclass. That one
not really outclass. Yeah. So maybe if they could have, he could have learned or engaged a few more coaches from other parts of the world that could really input some more. Yeah. But then plus, overall, I think I will still give my vote to Pep.
You still give your vote to Pep, lah. I think for me, right, like he only started doing well like proper like European like domination where they will get to at least semi-final or like I won't say domination, but more like doing well like in the continental success, like getting to semi-finals and everything was when he started employing Carlos Queiroz as his assistant manager from Portugal. So something a bit of an opinion outside of the usual like British managers that was always there, like Steve McLaren, Jim Ryan. So those were the things that I think in terms of adaptability he also was able to achieve. I can't really say that in terms of football capability and tactical mastery he was the greatest. I think, to be honest, if you really compare Pep to Ferguson, right, I think Pep's better much better tactically and more in terms of like build up play, because he was the one that he beat Ferguson twice lah.
But I must say both have equally of desire to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's more like the win at all costs, because my view is very simple lah. Why Pep is a better manager is because Pep basically tactical masterminded, right, the Champions League final, right, against probably Manchester United's greatest ever football side, the 0809. Kena dominated. That one nothing to say. So it's interesting in the sense where for so many years we always say, okay, maybe Mourinho might be the one that will go against Fergie, but now it's Pep against Fergie, it's City against United. So to end off this, to decide who is the greatest manager ever, Jordan, Paul, Fergie versus Pep. Who is the greatest?
I think
Okay,
Pep.
if Pep wins the treble, yes. Then I will say Pep, yeah.
Okay.
It's the football brains.
I'm trying to be as neutral as I am now.
Yeah.
Because Ferguson, like I said, like the age thing, because you don't know how long, you honestly don't know when Guardiola is going to quit,
Yes.
If he quits now, then I will still say Ferguson is better,
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Yeah, because the 13 league titles is good enough to trash any other managers. Yeah.
Correct. But now current statement.
Yeah, I will still say Ferguson. At the point that they haven't won the treble, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then Ferguson. I say Ferguson.
If Man City won the treble this season,
then you ask me again. You ask me again after they win the treble.
Okay, Jordan,
which I think they will lah.
Yeah.
I hope not.
I would. I'll give it to Pep lah due to the footballing brains.
Okay. I will say Fergie first, but I will say this lah. If they win, no, I agree with Paul. Like, as a United fan, right, this is me just being solely objective, right? Like, I will say Fergie first, just purely on accolades, right? But if let's say you are talking about if Guardiola and Man City win the treble this year, right, then Guardiola is the greatest. Simply because, right, he's done a treble in both La Liga and in England. 2 countries you do a treble. That one is
and
something
you have
that
to think about it. No one has done the treble in like 23 years in England.
Yes, in England. And I find that if, let's say, for example, if you're talking about in England, right, it is probably the hardest to do a treble because of the fact that football is so intense that the guys are at the highest peak condition. Like Liverpool attempted to win 4 last year, they only won 2.
Okay, but Man U also, I think 2006, 2007, is it? Or 2008?
No,
2008, yeah, we won Champions League and then the FA Cup, we were out, right?
We were out.
I think the Carabao Cup isn't Spurs. Oh, that's this season.
We are the Disney Cup holders now, bro. The Mickey Mouse
so last year was... I think last year is Spurs.
Last year Liverpool. No, Liverpool won Carabao last year.
Oh, the Disney Cup.
We'll just leave it as that lah. I think it's 2-1 2-1 going to Fergie, right? But if Man City win the treble, right, then Pep's the greatest to both of us already. I cannot argue with you anymore already. It's like how for so long, right, we always say Ronaldo's the GOAT, right? Until Messi won the World Cup, right? Then Messi the GOAT already. That one cannot fight already. So with that is it for this week's episode.
In a rigged World Cup. Hey, kidding.
In
a World Cup that was rigged.
Okay, no. Alright, so that is Alright, so that is it for this week's episode. Alright, everybody. So that is it for this week's episode of the Football Kaki. We just want to say thank you for joining us and thank you for listening in. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Chit Chatter Podcast Network for all our shows, which include, of course, the Kopri Bros every Monday with our brothers, Paul, Midet, and of course, Brandon. Every Monday, they do have a topic that they want to discuss, and they have fun doing it also. And of course, every Friday, our game show, the SG Draft Podcast, where we draft about different topics and have fun while doing it. Do stay tuned for that because we have got all sorts of different drafts, some fan voted, some of it where we find interesting, and some of it related to what is going to be released at that point in particular time. Let it be movies or video games or even TV shows. So with that, from everybody here at the Football Kaki and the Chit Chatter Podcast Network, we just want to wish you a happy week ahead, and don't forget to join the Kaki every Wednesday, 8 a.m. With that, bye-bye, and thank you so much.
Adios.
I don't want Man City to win the treble, but
Champion.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.